thanks for joining. Again, I'm a few minutes early, so that's awesome. So we might wait just a couple of minutes to get people join the channel. As usual, just skip on for a few minutes, just because I'm going to do my usual spamming and probably make sure that I am live. So let's just make sure I'm live. Oh yeah, I can see that I'm live. That's always a good start. I have to also make sure I'm off the Wi-Fi network. Hopefully it will come back. So we should be back. Now I've switched to 4G. So I'm going to spam as I do, just briefly. I only do it on Facebook these days. I really need to find a better application where I can use live stream through Facebook and such, and Instagram and YouTube all at the same time. I'm live. I'm live. Cool. I'm live. That'll do. Keep it simple. I'm live. Post. And then do one more page. And then, hey, Massimiliano, how are you going, mate? You're the only one in at the minute, I think, or the only one that's commented at least. I can see there's a few people in, but people are shy at the minute. How are you going? What the hell just happened there? That's not right. Let's try that one again. No. No, that one. Woohoo. Solid. So we've got a few people commenting now. So Mike's in, is a Panzer Ace. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for joining, mate. Hello. John's put good morning all from the US. Hey, John, thanks for joining. Rothgar's on the channel as well. Good day, Rothgar. Another Panzer Ace. And John's put, hi, thanks for the comment on my T-3485 captured tank. I've had it for years. I bought it when Bolt Action first came out, I think. And for those unfamiliar, he put it on our Discord server, I believe. Unless you've posted on the Panzer supporters page. But yeah, it's a very nice tank. You've done such a good job of it. It's a shame you've left it for so long, but it was worth the wait because it looks absolutely great. James put good morning / afternoon / evening because it's evening for us here. It's just approaching 9:30 p.m. Oh, it is 9:30 p.m. There you go. But yes, good morning, evening. Where are you joining us from, Jane? What's everyone working on as well? Sat opposite me, says Mike. Okay, good. Getting the numbers up. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. I should know by the last name there, actually. I can see the last name as well. That's good. I appreciate that. I'm sure my wife's on here too, supporting. You got to get them supporting. I appreciate it's a family. I appreciate Mike's getting you involved, Jane. It's really good. Gets the numbers up. Makes me look more important than I actually am. Has Mike got you guys? Has Mike got you working on anything, or are you like my wife, completely against the idea of painting anything for me? Oh, she does. She builds your houses and bridges. That's awesome. Yeah, I think they need a female's eye sometimes because they're better at that sort of thing, aren't they, than painting army men. And I know Rothgar's traveling. How's your travels going, Rothgar? Or are you leaving today, was it you were saying? I can't remember. You said you were going to catch a video. I wasn't sure if you said it was Saturday or Sunday. So are you in Australia or in China? Because the weather's pretty bad here at the minute. So hopefully you've already made the journey across. But yeah, it's raining here. It's dark, wet, rainy, cold. Um, so if you hear any of the rain, I do apologize. James put it definitely needs a woman's touch. Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. That's why mine are just sitting in the on the desk here. I'm waiting for my wife to do it, but it's probably more chance my son will paint it, and he's only 2. So yeah. Rough course, but just waiting for a mate to take us to the airport. Oh, you're going in this way, but hopefully, I looked at the radar just before I came on, and it looked a bit like it was improving a lot. So that's good. Uh, yeah, I don't like flying in rough weather myself, but my wife likes it. Like she likes when the plane's bumpy and bumping all around, and that she says she doesn't feel so like motion sick. Whereas I like a nice smooth flight. But yeah, if the weather's clearing, you should be good. Zaku actually's joined us. I don't know what '07 means, but hello, mate. How's it going? Um, Thanks for joining the stream. Mike's put it's all part of my cunning plan. I don't get moaned at for buying more. You've got a good setup there, Mike. You're gonna have to teach me the ways. I'll help you with the odd painting tip, and you can help me and trying to convince my wife to help out with the painting. I'm obviously doing something wrong. Deal. Recruits joined us. Hi, mate. Been a while since I've been able to catch a live stream. It's because you're too busy with your own channel, mate. I also saw you went to an event. Tell us all about it. And how is your hunt for? Was it? You've reached 100 subbies now. Are you close to 200 yet? Do we need to push the channel some more, mate? Get you up to that 200 mark? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's 112 subbies. But let's next aim is 200 there, mate. We get you there. So what else is everyone working on? Mike, you have to tell us. You said you were looking at going for a second session for the airbrushing training. I think would be the right word to use for that one. So have you booked that one in yet? John's put bloody UK is having heat wave after heat wave. We're not used to heat low. Yesterday was drab and cold. Today is sunny and very hot. '07 is the same as the salute emoji. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, but thank you for that salute. Yeah, I was just speaking to my nan in the UK. She said that in typical fashion, all she cared about was her garden, and she said her garden's completely dead. But we have to put up with that for 9 months of the year here in Australia. So there wasn't too much sympathy from me for that one. But the one good thing about warm weather is the weeds stay away, and probably moss for you guys as well. James put it this way, Chris. It was my idea to put the clear plastic sheets in the windows to make it look like glass. Yep, see, that's a woman's touch right there. Definitely got more brains than us lads, that's for sure. Booked for October, focus on modulation, weathering, etc. There you go. So for those in the UK, Mike has been doing some. I think he's been paying for like private lessons for airbrushing. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that, then reach out to Mike in the chat. I think there was, from what I could make out, it was definitely of some benefit. Probably it's always easier to do stuff. I find even with like my work and stuff, I can watch videos, I can read manuals and stuff, but if I'm not physically doing it at the same time, I really, really struggle to actually work it out or like do it. I need hands-on. I need hands-on tools, hands-on miniatures and stuff like that to work stuff out. So yeah, I can definitely see the use in that. Johnson's put afternoon from sunny London, working on BF2 Pounder. Anyone know a good colour for artillery? Depends what you're going for, Johnson. Are you going for a we're going for BEF, obviously, bronze green. Are you going to be using airbrush or are you going to be brush painting it? Because if you're airbrushing, I'll definitely recommend Mike Starmer. I think is Stamer or something like that. Not Keir Starmer, Mike or Mark here with his Tamiya database. I think he's got a bronze green on there, which would look really good. But I think I used that actually for my Lanchester painting guide. But if you're not airbrushing it, you really need like a bronze green. I'm sure there's a good Vallejo color for that. Recruits, but yeah, it's been creeping up. Editing my Volksbein. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Conflict 47 video. Need to work on my pronunciation of. There you go. Vogelspine? Vogelspine? God knows, mate. I think you'll be better than I am at that one. James put, she's thinking of mini net curtains next. Wow, that is next level. That would look pretty awesome. Next one, most definitely the first lesson would benefit somebody before they spend money on their setup. I got a lot out of it, that's for sure. It's a shame you can't record it, or maybe you can, I don't know, but you should try and record it as well and get your money's worth and then sell it on the dark web. I don't recommend that poor guy. But sometimes you forget stuff, don't you? You will almost need like a second person there to take notes for you. Mini net curtains, that is just crazy. I don't think I've ever actually seen that. I wonder if you could get them from like doll houses or if you're going to make them from scratch. I've seen some people do houses with wallpaper and they've put in like a little bit of furniture and stuff. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen curtains. John's put, it's been crazy this year, though people have fruit trees and tomato plants or other greenhouse crops have had a bumpy year. My friend was saying a pear tree in the garden next to him has split in half due to so many pears on it. Yeah. Um, I don't ever remember. When I lived. I mean, I lived in the UK for 13 years. So from when I was born to when I moved out here, 14 years because I was just turning 14. Literally turned 14 when we moved out here. I don't ever remember it being like stifling hot for very long. I remember there was the odd day where it was hot, but it was very rare. So it's crazy you've had so much heat. But I don't remember. I feel like last year you guys didn't have much heat. I thought it was quite a rainy summer, which would be on par, right? But hey, at least you guys don't need to go to Spain and like to get your heat. You can just stay in the UK. It might actually make the beaches in the UK a little bit nicer as well. Some nice heat. Make the sand a little bit sandier, not so pebbly. Rough God's put, he's off. If all goes well, I have 15 days of Discord messages to catch up on when I get back. Well, safe travels, Rough God. We look forward to having you back and hopefully you have a few tutorials to catch up on and such. And thanks again for printing off those houses for me. I really appreciate it, mate. And seriously, safe travels. Enjoy yourself and yeah, make the most of all of that yummy food that you're going to have. Mike's put, my grass has gone 50 shades of brown. And you sound like my great grandma that I called before, mate. Don't talk about the gardens just yet. You're too young for that. I've seen the photo of you. Can't be talking about landscaping and such yet. It's more important things to worry about anyway. You're doing the mini curtains and stuff. Figure painting. Nobody call me grandpa. I really need to spruce up this room. There you go. I need my wife's touch. I need a female's touch. My room is terrible. I'm looking at myself talking, and I can see it's not a very appealing live stream, is it? It's just a bloke with a load of mess behind him, and you don't want to see what's hidden behind the camera. Although I have got a model that's. Oh, let's pick him up. There we go. John's but is from the northeast of England. The beaches around here are mainly rock beaches, hard pebble beaches. Yeah, I remember going on holidays up north and down south from Leicester, and I don't ever recall. I remember there was one sandy beach, but it was like brown. Um, yeah, mainly just walking around in pebbles and stuff. Uh, just call him Gramps, says Jane. All right, Gramps it is. Eames, but we're not here for the aesthetics. Yeah, well, you know what? That's nice to know. I don't have to put any effort into it. I do have posters and pictures and stuff I want to put up, but getting custom stuff framed and that is bloody expensive. Um, so that's probably going to sit on the to-do pile, and I'll probably retire from painting tutorials, and it will still be waiting to be framed. Oh, there we go. Let's turn the light back on. There we go. Let's put it a bit higher. Mike's Pot, are you going to be trying I think it's Actis Opus brushes? I have no idea. Or Actus Opus brushes? We were talking about that on our Discord server, sorry. Oh God, I got a tickly throat. I will. I just finished reviewing some Lightwish brushes, which I wouldn't recommend to experienced painters or people that have just been painting for a while. But if you're new to the hobby, they're probably pretty good for that. But I will definitely give them a go. It's hard. I think paintbrushes are one of those things. When you find one that you like, you're gonna struggle to find another one that's better. And I've been through a lot. I've had Tamiya brushes, I've had Vallejo brushes, I've had MIG brushes, I've had Citadel brushes. I've had like synthetic brushes and stuff, and my Rosemary and Co brushes I love. But I'm yet to try a Winsor and Newton, which I might consider, as well as this Actus Opus brush set. So I'll definitely give them a go. But it'd be good to know in the stream what brushes is everyone else using. Do you guys have a go-to brush? I know some people like. I never understand when I watch really good scale modelers painting, and they have the most battered up piece of shit brush, but they can do some really good stuff with it. But I never understand why they use such a like, bad brush for painting some stuff. Um, like the tip's all destroyed and that. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what people use. Baltasar's joined us. Hello all. Next Sunday, next stream. You're already leaving for the next stream, or you're already thinking about the next stream? We've got to get through this one first, mate. John's put, yeah, we call that type of sand sharp sand. It's used in concrete or other strong cement mixes. Yeah, not the sand. Put it this way: when you come out to Australia and you see the beaches here, you understand what a real beach is. I've never seen such golden sand and blue sea. Series 7 are very good as well. Opus are cheaper. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see. I will get some other brushes because I'm interested to try some. I do have some new MIG brushes that have come, which I'm definitely gonna try out and see if they're any good. Alan's put afternoon, evening. I use a mix of Artis Opus and Golden Maple brushes. Golden Maple Kolinsky are great when I don't want to trash the Artis Opus ones. Okay. Um, so some good reviews there for the artist, but you're saying that Oh, so yeah, you're saying the artist is better than the golden maple. Oh, a great when I don't want to. Yeah, yeah. So you're saying the artist is better. Okay. So yeah, maybe I should get one on the stream. How much are they? Should I have a look? Can I pick one up in Australia for cheap? Opus. I like a size zero. I like a size zero brush myself. Does anyone have a favorite size brush that you use? 27 Australian dollars I can pick one up for. Series S. No, is that not the right one? Oh, but the Windsor and Newton Series 7 is only another $10. Anyway, but yeah, so okay, so they are reasonably priced. That's good. They're not too expensive. Ian's put, I just use whatever brush, probably why I'm not a masterclass painter. Uh, I was using some terrible brushes for some of my tutorials, which you will definitely notice. Some of my old AB figure tutorials, I was using a really battered old Tamiya brush, and you can see when I look back on it now, it's a very damaged brush. So you don't always need a good brush, but I'm definitely not a masterclass painter, so that might be a question for I wonder what proper masterclass painters would use. Mike's put try Cornwall for the beaches. I feel like no, I don't think I ever got down to Cornwall. We got down to the southern coast, but we never. I don't think we ever got down to Cornwall. So yeah, maybe I'm being too critical of the whole of the UK. Um, but yeah, I can't remember where did we go. We did go across to the Isle of Man, and I don't remember the beaches there. I remember going in the sea, but it was the middle of winter, so it was freezing, absolutely freezing. Bodsop has put beaches are nice, but I'm a little scared about cat-sized spiders. Yeah, so am I. So am I. I remember the first time I encountered a huntsman spider, which is like um they can grow to like the size of like your average dinner plate. They bite, but they're not poisonous or anything, but they're hairy and they're yes, they look scary if you don't like spiders, I suppose. But it was on my we were having breakfast and it was on the seat I was sitting on. I didn't realize it was on the back of the seat and we're eating breakfast and I got up, turned around, and then yeah, we all saw it. So it was me, my two sisters, and my mum all like hiding from the spider until my mum put it outside. I know it's terrible, isn't it? I had to rely on my mum to hide the spider from me, but I couldn't do it. I've picked up one since with a brush, um, but they're daunting. They're so big and they look hot. They just don't look nice, do they? Big spiders. John's bought, he's got a set of artists Opus dry brush set. Not used them yet. I'm using golden maple at the moment. So it's another bonus for golden maple as well. Okay. So what about actually I think Alice just put a comment in. Let's have a look, see what that says before I ask that question. But well, mostly I use cheap Atelier brushes and replace them quick. That's what I was doing. So I was using a Warhammer Layer S, I think it was, brush. And every 3 weeks, I was going for a new brush, new brush, new brush. And I thought, this has got to end. This is just ridiculous. I'm paying $10 or $15 a brush every time, and it's just lasting like a couple of weeks. Um, and that's when I moved on to the Rosemary and Co. Kalinsky brushes, and I found them to be great so far. Um, but I think I'm definitely going to try a new brush, judging by what everyone's saying on here. Ian's poor, and yet you have a cult, I mean, a fan base. Well, that's in relation to me saying I'm not a masterclass painter. I think that's just other um, people in the same sort of caliber or maybe just slightly below want to just get an average looking model on the tabletop. I'm definitely not. When I see some people's work, you just, hats off to them because they're just amazing painters. Um, but I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I don't know. I just can't, I don't consider myself, even when I'm selling stuff on like the Facebook marketplace or some of the like Facebook groups, you'll see people put professionally painted. I don't consider myself a professional or anything like that, so I never put that. I just say painted like to a good standard or a high standard. Um, but yeah, I just like to pretend that I'm not um, that I don't know that I'm good, just so I get all the sympathy. No, I'm only joking. Um, Alan's put artist Opus S set longer bristles than the M series. I have M, S, and D sets as worked out cheaper as they last longer. Maple are great for contrast and painting. Base coat's really impressed. What are you? Which size do you reckon's the best? So you're saying M has the longer bristles. I don't think I need long bristles. I think it's just small. I have M, S, and D. So is D smaller or is S smaller? I'm assuming does it go from like A being the smallest to Z being the longest? Trickers put sauerkraut greetings. Guten Tag, my friend. Mike's put we're all our worst critic. I know we are, mate. I know we are. That's very true, right? It's very, very true. That's why I end up selling a lot of my stuff. It's not because I don't uh, actually no, it is because I don't like it. It's because I just look at it and go, I don't like the way that's painted and I sell it. Um, so I've sold so many armies over the years just because I've got fed up with it. I end up selling the army and then I buy it again, like the unpainted version, and just um, uh, redo it. I've done that a few times. This British Airborne Army is a very good example of that. And so is my. Actually, no, I never touched the Rockstrip stuff. Input people will post professionally painted stuff on eBay and it will look like painted using a multi crayon, so we're all better in that regard. And that's another reason why I don't like putting professionally painted because you guys might consider my stuff to like a good standard or a really good standard, whereas there might be people out there that might not consider it to a really good standard. Like if you compare, I don't know, the way I paint one of my British Airborne figures or whatever against somebody that's painted a Warhammer figure, the guy that's painted the Warhammer figure might think my stuff sucks because the way that they paint Warhammer is very different to the way we would paint historical stuff. So I just put paints to a good standard and just let people decide if they think it's um, better than good or not. And normally my prices reflect what I think it's rated as. It's all about that money. Mike's put M is the short, S is the longest, D is the dry brush. Okay. So M is the, what did I say was the one I found on Google? Oh, S. Oh, okay. But this picture doesn't make it look long at all. Oh, I like this. Save 5%. So it's from $27.99 to $26.60. So that's very nice of you. Thank you so much. Size Series M, the Combat Company. Do it? Okay. But yeah, anyway, I'll stop looking at this, but I'll definitely look at it. Oh, so you can get this set. Series S 5 brush set. So what's the series? Oh, okay. So it's the longer. So you can get the dry brush set. You can get the M brush set. I do like that case. That's very fancy, isn't it? Would I need that case though? Probably not. It's $125. John's point, if you paint with contrast paints or speed paints or inks, I wouldn't get a sable brush. The thin paints are drawn into the ferrule. I don't know the correct term for that. I just use synthetic brush when using them types of paint. Yeah, so I have my old brushes that I will use for pin washing and using for enamel wash, any type of washing, dry brushing and stuff. I do get lazy, which I'm terrible for, where sometimes I just can't be arsed and I will use my good brush. But I'm very well. This is how much of a non-professional painter I am. This is an example of the sort of palettes I use. It's just a plastic takeaway container. People have got those wet palettes and stuff. I don't see any benefit with the wet palette. I know that's terrible. When I've used it, I don't know. I just was just like, it's small and you have to keep changing the paper all the time. I know it keeps your paint wet, but I don't batch paint, so maybe that's why I paint like a couple of figures at a time. Um, so I just use these really. At the moment, I'm using paper plates just because they're really cheap and I can just bin them when they get too heavy. But I've got one that's like a rock because there's so much dry paint on there. But yeah, see, definitely not a professional painter. I do have a wet palette from AK, um, but yeah, I was just didn't really rate it. Trekkers, but yeah, always have to consider what someone paints and scale. 6 million needs a different painting, 50 million needs a different painting, so does 72, 28, 32. Yeah, completely agree. And see, for me, I've spoken to people in the community that paint bigger stuff and they say, I don't know how you can paint the small stuff. Whereas I'm like, I paint the smaller stuff, like the 15 mil, the 20 mil. I feel like I'm better at painting that than I am the 28 mil. And I envy people that can paint really good 28 mil figures because I don't feel like I can. Um, I think painting the bigger stuff is harder than it is to paint the smaller stuff, but very interesting. Horrible gamers saying that Ian's putting him on blast, but you would have had to actually apply paint. I think that's in reply to Horrible Gamer. Um, so yeah, so this Artist Opus series of brushes is what we're looking at. And we're talking about what brushes everyone's using. So does anyone actually use the Rosemary and Co? I know you can't get it in America, so maybe not. So Massimiliano has said, talking about contrast paints, what is your opinion for 172 figures? I can't use them. I cannot use contrast paints. I've tried them. I don't see any benefit in them myself. God, I sound really negative, don't I? I don't see any benefit in contrast paints myself for my technique. I just end up putting contrast paint on and then still finding I need to put other layers and stuff on. I'd just rather just do it my traditional way of base, wash, layer, and if it needs a highlight, highlight. Um, but my friend Stu at Miniature Realms, he paints a lot of stuff using his contrast paints, and he's a bloody good wizard at using them. Um, he's super, super good at using them. So I would recommend checking his channel out for that. In terms of 172 scale, I don't know. I wouldn't know. He paints all scales with his contrast paints. So yeah, sorry, I can't answer that one, mate. I do have a few contrast paints, but I really don't see the benefit in them for the way I do stuff. So Boltos put, sorry mate, but as an aviation freak, I have to ask, I see Hawk Simulator logo on your hoodie. Are you related with that brand? I am, mate. I am. I work for CAE and I am a technician on the Hawk Simulator. That's my job here in Perth. John's put the fill is a metal part just above the bristles and can paint seeing and make your brush splay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry, I metal part. Yeah, I know that part. I didn't know how you pronounce it. I wasn't sure if I was getting the actual name of it correct. I know you can see it building up, can't you? It goes in like you can see all the bristles getting stuck and stuff. So I've got a brush that I use for like mixing paints and washes and stuff like that, just to make sure that I don't destroy my good brushes. But like I said, I do get lazy sometimes. Dragons, but don't know if painting bigger scales is more difficult, but if you paint smaller scales, you have to do more pretend painting, i.e. coming influences needs to look like the original thing. Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it? Painting camouflage on smaller scale models, especially like when you go underneath 20 mil, it really gets tricky. When Victrix sent me out those 12 mil Fallschirmjäger, I'm like, I don't even know how I'm going to paint Splinter Camo on 12 mil figures. It's hard enough on 15 mil. let alone on 12 mil. So that's why I didn't end up painting. I just gave them a base coat of like just the base color. Horrible games, but I just buy whatever's on sale at the CAF store. I'm cheap. At the craft store, CAF store, can you imagine? Yeah, I get that point for sure. The thing isn't the best way of doing it. You have to pretend the camo. Yeah, sorry. Yes, you do definitely have to pretend, and you can't make it look as realistic and stuff. Ball support, so you have a very cool job. I do, mate. I'm very, very fortunate. My background is aviation. I worked fixing aircraft. I was an avionics engineer for a good chunk there. Um, but I was working on civilian aircraft for a while. And then I moved, and now I work on the military side of things, but not part of the military, if that makes any sense. I'm not in the Royal Australian Air Force, but I work with the Royal Australian Air Force. Most part, I tried the rosemary brushes, but the accuracy are several levels above. Okay. Um, I'm assuming you mean artist. Oh yeah, bloody spell checker. Yeah. Okay, so I need to get some artists then. That's what I'm hearing. So I was gonna get some. Oh, Actis. Actis. No, is it Actis or Artis? It's Artis, right? ART. Artis Opus, or is it Actis? Am I looking at the wrong bloody brush actually? No, it's got to be Artist. Let's have a look. Actis. Let's just try that one in. Yeah. No, it's Artist. Artist. But if you're a fan of Flames of War videos, I've got a Flames of War video that's just come out for my members. So that's probably going to come out in a month's time now. It's a Firefly, the one that came out on Dice of War's Decal review. It wasn't really a review, preview. I don't know what you really call it. So if you want to see that, you have to be a member. You can join for $1 a month. But yeah, that's come out. So we've got some more Flames of War on the channel. We don't see Flames of War as much on the channel anymore, which is a bummer. But there's just so much stuff going on. There's either going to be a lot of 28mm stuff coming on the channel now for the next whatever videos come out in the next few weeks. But I'm still continuing with the 1/72 scale videos every second video, painting tutorial, because I can definitely feel like that's helping improve the channel's growth. And we're getting in a lot more scale modelers and stuff. So yeah. By the way, working on 3 AC1 Sentinels by BF seems the molds are pretty new because the metal tracks look surprisingly good. Okay, that's good to know. I saw, is it Kevin showcasing his Sentinels? They looks very good. Kevin's a great painter. I saw his 25 pounders for the Aussies looked very nice too. He's put good. 28mm is superior. I wouldn't go that far. Definitely wouldn't go that far. 20mm for me is the sweet spot. I think that's the perfect size. But who am I? Who am I to say? No one in Western Australia that I know of really games in 20mm. So I'm that lonely fan that's sitting in the stands waiting for somebody else to come and game in 20mm. Mike's put artist opus. Okay, it is artist. We got there eventually. I think Actis has a bit more of a like Latin sort of sound to it. Maybe we should start up our own brand and we can compete against artists. Second should be Artistify Blood predictive text. Artified blood. What does that mean? What is it? Is that a brush? Is it? Okay, don't put that into Google because can I use my own blood to paint? Okay, that's the. I don't know what I've missed there, Alan. Sorry, mate. I've um I've misread your comment there. I was assuming it was a type of artist paintbrush. Nice, but what's on the paint on the workbench? Well, pretend that you can't see these because I've just spoke with the guy that made these and he doesn't want them promoting on the channel. Um, so yeah, you can't see those until they're ready. But everything else, all these. Um, but we've got some 28 mil Rorke's Drift characters. It's the same, mate. Honestly, it's the same as every week. Some British Airborne 20 mil. They're just waiting to be filmed on the spinny turntable. The 17 pounder that should be getting looked at this week, but there is a lot on this week, so maybe I won't get around to filming it. We've got the Firefly hybrid Firefly that's been painted and filmed. Uh, Behind me is stuff that would be unfamiliar. Let's scoot on back. Whoa. Actually, no, you guys did see it on Discord, didn't you? Uh, but I was trying out the new, is it Gal Galeri? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm going to have to Google that before I review it. Galeri airbrush. Oh. So we got a 20 mil stug free. I was meant to put storage on it. I completely forgot. I started airbrushing him and I went, oh, I forgot to put storage in the back there. So I'm going to have to apply that at some point. I just don't know when. So storage. And then we've got a classic from Battlefront, the old Flames of War recovery Bergy Panther. I don't know what it is. Recovery Panther. That I thought, you know what, this would be perfect to test out the airbrush with. And I'm so glad I did it. It's such a cool piece. I've had this for years and years and years. I was literally about to sell it a couple of days ago, and I stopped myself from doing it to test out the airbrush with smaller scale camo lines. And it's got the little gun on the front that I remember buying direct from Battlefront because you used to be able to get them in a set of two, just the little guns there, the little, I don't know what it is, 2 centimeter or something, anti-tank gun. So yeah, I was like, I'm going to get this painted up and put it on the channel. So this will be a tutorial. The annoying thing is there's going to be two tutorials of more, well, not two, there's more free tone tutorials coming out. But I don't think people get fed up with German tanks as tutorials. So I think that'd be a pretty cool video to put out there. And it's a classic Battlefront resin. That's all metal and resin. Yeah, and I'm pretty stoked with how it's come out. We'll see how it looks when it's had a gloss varnish because it will darken up and such. So don't know if you know something or want to tell, but Harry's channel has been very quiet for a while. Can you tell us something? I know Harry's having some personal issues, or not issues, he's going through stuff. His life's a bit hectic at the moment, and I think he's had a bit of a drop in motivation for the channel. So hopefully we'll see him come back very strong soon. But I'll let him know you're thinking of him, Trekken, and I'll see if I can get an update as to how he's going and when he's going to start filming some more stuff because I miss it. I miss his channel. I wish I had his sense of or his way of doing his videos. Like they're super informative. They've got so much good history in there, and they're normally really good and full of such amazing information. I'd love to be able to do that and do the painting tutorial. I just don't have the patience for all of that. I want to get the tutorials out and move on to the next one. So yeah, I'll let him know that you're thinking of him though, mate, and see if we can figure out when he's actually coming back. Signal drop should be previous messages. Artis and Artis Fire brands that are often bought by mistake instead of Artis Opus. Okay, so Well, I've got an artist. Okay, so this is really confusing. So it's an artist opus is what I want, is what you guys are saying. Right. So artist opus. Okay, so this is interesting. So the stores in Australia are selling the artist opus. I can't see the artist on here. Am I missing something? What? None of them. I can't see it on there at all. Maybe you guys will have to link me to the. Yeah, I can't see it on here. Everyone's talking about artists. Artists, 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 all the things that come up are artists. Even Google's trying to get me to correct the spelling. Interesting. I'm busy painting Perry plastic walls of the Roses 28 mil. Oh, I want to do War of the Roses so bad. So bad. Oh, how do you find the Perry miniatures? Trigger's book got Berg Panther in Stash 2 somewhere. Have you got the little gun that you can put on the front there? I need to find crew actually as well. Um, but yeah, that's awesome. Such a cool little vehicle. I just sold my Sherman ARV because I was never going to use it. Um, but I'm glad I've kept the Panther and it looks better with some paint on it already. So it's going to be fun to paint up. Um, Pulse but have you already tried this Mobus behind you? Can you compare it to any other airbrush? Yeah, so that is the one I was just talking about. So we're just talking about the Panther here. So that was the airbrush. I'm not sure if you can really make out the lines very well. That's using that airbrush. Tamiya paints, of course. I have to use Tamiya when airbrushing for me. I think that's the best you can use. The easiest, at least, most user friendly. Yeah, very, very good. In terms of comparing it to airbrush, it's just the same. I found it to be very good. Very, very good. I've got a really expensive airbrush, a Harder and Steinbach Evo. I've got two. So this is my fourth airbrush now. I've got two others. I've got a Water Neo CN, and I've got another brush I can't remember because I bought it off Marketplace. And to be completely honest with you, out of all of the brushes I've bought, the one I use the most is the Iwata Neo CN, and it's probably the cheapest brush out of all of them. It's got the biggest needle, which is a 3.5, 0.35, I should say. Why do I do that? Mainly because I'm painting bigger scale stuff at the moment, and I find it the most comfortable airbrush to use out of all four, which is crazy. My Harder and Steinbeck is mainly used when I use my 0.15 millimeter needle, and that is super fine work. So that's 12 mil, 50 mil sort of vehicles. But if anyone was getting into airbrushing, for a really cheap brush, I would get the Iwata Neo CN on special. Don't buy it when it's full price, get it on special. I got it from Hobby Lobby when I was on holiday one year, and that's how I started it all off for half price, I think it was, at Hobby Lobby in the US. And it's a really good airbrush. I've never had any problems with it. And it does the job really nicely. Most of what you see on the channel of late has been painted with that airbrush in terms of tanks. My Harder and Steinbeck brush, a lot of my earlier videos, I was using that brush. I still love it. It's amazing. It's a really, really good airbrush. So is this one. I've only used it for two vehicles so far, the Mobis or Mobius. So yeah, but to be honest, in terms of how I rate the airbrushes between themselves, I there's not a huge amount of difference. Some look sleeker, like the Iwata Neo CN isn't going to win any awards for the way it looks, but it's simple. It breaks down easily. It's just simplified. Whereas like the Harder and Steinbeck is very nice. This airbrush is very nice as well. It looks the design is very sleek and that. This one is a little bit different to the other ones I've got. You can actually control the air from the airbrush, the amount of air is coming out, which is new to me. I've never had to do that. It's normally through the control of the trigger, whereas this has got a little dial on the airbrush where you can control the amount of air. But yeah, sorry, didn't really answer your question. I brought some APC spines, and of course, I watched his video about the spine before I did so. John's put it's artist opus, and then I put low. I was multitasking while checking the mini cannon at work and misspelled it. Okay, good. All right. I'm like, where is this? I need to find the legit one. Okay, so it is artist opus. All right. Must make sure I use that one. Mike's put, he's got a brush in front of him and it's artist opus. Okay, so everyone rates them. There's more people talking about artists than there are the Windsor brushes, which is really interesting. Recruits put, I want to do War of the Roses too, but none at my club want to play it. It's a shame. I'm a pro Richard III. I don't know why. The Richard III banner, I'd be behind his banner. I know he murdered a load of people and stuff, but wasn't it his own like family members or something? But still, he was found in Leicester. He died in Leicester. He's my king, if that makes any sense for the period. And he was a warrior compared to the other. I mean, Henry did. He was in the battle, I suppose, but he wasn't a warrior like Richard III. I mean, that guy was nuts. Although he had no other, he really had no option, did he? He had to charge and try and kill him in one blow because it was all pretty much going to be over anyway. John's put the plastic are nice. I do have some of the metal miniatures, but I think they're slightly thicker, but I can't quite remember exactly. I just bought a load of Zulus from Perry just so I could get the exclusive figures. I'm really excited to see what they're like. I can't wait to get my hands on them. Boss asked, what paints do you use for airbrushing? Tamiya, mate. Tamiya acrylics all the way for airbrushing. I will not use anything else. In saying that, I have used some other things, and I've got some MIG paints to try for the airbrush. So I'm always open to try new paints. But if you're new to airbrushing, use Tamiya paints. For the love of God, use Tamiya paints. Just make sure you thin them down properly. So play with thinners. Use a palette and mix your paint and thinners with the palette properly. Don't do it in the airbrush. Don't put your paint in, then put your thinners in over the top and try and mix it that way. If you're new, when you're experienced, that's all easy. You can do that. If you're new, my biggest advice for you would be use Tamiya acrylic paints. They don't clog your needle nozzle as much as like Vallejo and other paints like that, is what I've found. And I will say that to anyone that's considering airbrushing. I started with AK, I started with MIG, I started with Vallejo, and I constantly had problems. As soon as I moved to Tamiya, those problems were a lot less frequent. And the problems I was getting with Tamiya was more of my own doing, not mixing the correct thinners to paint ratio. So yeah, that would be my biggest advice. I know like Vallejo, you have to get like not just the thinners, you have to put something else in and blah 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 blah. People will swear by Vallejo too, but no, Tamiya for me. Tamiya all the way. But personally, I'm a big fanboy of Harden Steinbeck Ultra. In my opinion, it's enough for anything. With Ultra and Tamiya paints, I can easily paint German camo and 144 scale tanks. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that for sure. I haven't got an Ultra. I'd love an Ultra. I just don't have the money for that. I've got 4 airbrushes already, so I probably don't need a 5th. But hey, if Harder and Steinbeck are watching this or watching any of my videos in the future and they want to send me an Ultra out to try, I'll be over the moon. I'd love to do that. White Stag Miniatures, hello. Join late. Sorry, that's all right. We'll let you off this time, mate. Continuing my 20mm AB Volksgrenadier, one day I'll show up with some photos. Excellent. Well, I can't wait to see them. I hope you're enjoying AB figures. They are bloody beautiful figures, and Nick is an absolute legend. So is Tony, the sculptor, but Nick at Eureka Miniatures is a bloody legend. I love supporting him where I can. John's put, you will never really know whether Richard murdered people as history has been tainted by Shakespeare's work and the rearranging of history after Henry Tudor came to power. Yes, exactly. Exactly. My thing for me is in that period of history, um, he, from everything I've read, obviously in modern times and now, and I don't know much about the period, but it would appear like he was a better king, or he would have been a much better king than, oh, he was, but he would have probably had a lot, would have done a lot better than Henry did, especially with the son that he produced as well. Um, but yeah, wouldn't it be really interesting what sort of um, UK or England you would have now if things had changed? If Richard III had killed Henry at the Battle of Bosworth, I think. Um, yeah, see, I don't really know too much. I've only read slight little bits here and there, but it fascinates me. It really fascinates me. Bosworth put same here. I use almost only Tamiya acrylics for airbrushing, but I use them with guns. Mr. Thinner. For me, that works much better than the Tamiya Thinner. Oh, okay. I use Tamiya Thinners. I've not had a problem. If I give mine a deep clean, I will use Mr. Cleaner. I think it's like Series 500 cleaner, which is like paint stripper. Um, but the way I normally clean my airbrush is so like when I first get my airbrush, I will put a little bit of Tamiya thinners in, spray that through, make sure that it's not blocked or anything, which it never is, which is great. So I'll spray that through. Then I'll get my paint and put it in the palette. I normally mix about 2 parts paint, 1 part thinners. If I'm using my big, like my 0.35 needle, um, do my layer, spray it on, and then I'll put a couple of coat. I'll put thinners in, block the head, spray, let it bubble up, clean, spray it all out. Another cup of thinners in, block it, spray, let it bubble up, spray that out. Get a kitchen towel, clean it all inside. Um, take the paint cup off, put the kitchen towel in, clean all of that as best I can, put the cup back on, and then move on to the next layer. And that has worked for me perfectly. So I do that, repeat all of that constantly, whilst each time I change color. And then when I'm finished for the day, I'll put some of this Mr. Cleaner or what Mr. Hobby Cleaner, whatever it's called, Series 500 or whatever. I can't remember off the top of my head. And let that do the same thing, cover it, let it bubble up, and then leave it for a couple of minutes, and you'll see um, a little bit of paint might come out, but normally the Tamiya thinners gets it out pretty well. John reckons he would have invaded France again if he had won at Bosworth. That would have been interesting, wouldn't it? That would have been very interesting. History is just fascinating. There's a lot of those what if moments. What if this had happened? What if that had happened? Teach those French a lesson again. Let the English teach them a lesson. But no, it would have been very interesting. Um, just the He was just badass, wasn't he? But then that could also be stupidity as well. Sometimes you've got to know when you've lost and either try and leave the field and try and recover and fight another day, or you know, in his mind, it was I'm gonna die trying. But I think his standard looks cooler as well. that's, that's what it comes down to. Same with painting Germans. Their equipment just looks cooler than the Allied stuff. So that's why we tend to lean towards painting Germans more than we do Allied stuff. There's only so many times you can paint a Sherman before you want to rip your hair out. Ryan's put, hello, my internet wasn't working. Ryan, come on, mate. No, that's all right. I get it. I understand. We have terrible internet here in Australia. So, well, we don't anymore, but we did. But where I live in Australia, it's not the best internet, so reception. So, yeah. John's, but I have some of that Mr. Hobby self-leveling thinners in the 500 line. Decided to smell it to see if it had an odor, and wow, I think I lost about 5 hours. It gives you a serious headache if you don't use PPE or like a face mask. I didn't think I never wear like gloves or a mask or anything when I'm airbrushing, but as soon as I put that thinners in, I make sure I'm in a well ventilated area, which I normally am because I'm doing it in the garage with the door open, or I put like a mask on because it is so strong when you're doing it, and it will give you a proper headache. That stuff is strong, which makes me worried. What does it actually do to our bodies? It's thinning whatever paint's in our bodies. Ryan's put his computer didn't like him today. Baltzar would love to share some of my pictures here, but guess links won't work. No, but if you put it in the Facebook supporters page, people will be able to see it there, mate. Or if you're on Discord, I'm not sure if you're on Discord or not. If you don't know it, I recommend The Plantagenets, The Kings Who Made England by Don Jones. A good overview and fun to read. That's great. I'll take note of that one. There was also a book I was very close to buying. I didn't get it, but it's made by an artist and he paints all of the famous scenes and stuff. I was so close to buying it, I still might get it, and it's all covering the War of the Roses, and it's like just pictures. I thought it'd be fantastic reference material if you paint that period of history. What's it called? War of the Roses. War of the Roses. I'm going to put picture book. What does it come up with? It comes up with. Oh, here we go. This is the one. The War of the Roses by Graham Turner, the medieval art of Graham Turner. If you haven't seen that and you want some amazing reference photos, just have a look at them. They are awesome. They look so good, but it's an expensive book. Oh, you can get an ebook, but you're not going to get an ebook for photos. You want them there. $80 I can get it for, which I will definitely end up getting. It's on the wish list, I think. $105. Yeah, it's an expensive book. War of the Roses reminds Ryan of Game of Thrones. I think it has any medieval period. Can remind people of Game of Thrones, that's for sure. A lot of treachery and killing each other and killing family members and stuff. It's a crazy time, wasn't it? But talking about medieval periods, I remember going to where was it in London? The Tower of London, and they at the museum there. They have like a replica swords that you can buy, and Richard the Lionheart's sword was there. I was so close to buying it. I'm so close to buying a lot of things last night, but it looked so cool. John's bought, yeah, I've got a War of the Roses book, and it is all reenactors, great, excellent photos. Does anyone know of any book for the 100 Year War? Because that's another one. Because I don't know how to paint like you're just generic knights. Did they all wear like? Oh, it sounds like it's hailing outside. Did they all wear like liveries of the the people they serve? So like they're what do they call them? Anyway, I'm going well off topic, but yeah, is there any good 100 Years Wars reference books for photos, like for using for painting figures? Because I really struggle with that. Because I had a 100 Years War army and I sold it because I just didn't know how to paint the figures. Recruit saying he's got some good Osprey books on that. Yes, because I've seen a lot of your stuff, which looks great. And you're posting the Discord. Awesome, thanks. I'll look forward to that one. But I'm not sure now. Do I want to do 100 Years War? Or do I want to do War of the Roses? The Black Prince has always fascinated me, especially some of his battles he was involved in. Yeah, I don't know. don't know, this is the paint. No, I mustn't do that. I've got Zulus and I've got British Airborne to paint. Stop getting me painting other stuff, guys. God damn. And Ryan's another one for Osprey. All right, guys, I'm coming up to an hour. Oh, no, I'm over an hour, 1 minute over. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to start charging everyone. I really appreciate everyone joining. It's just an hour stream. I really enjoy these streams though, getting you guys on. Um, oh, here we go. You can see maybe not a reference book for photos, but all books about 100 Years War by British historians and Courier. Great. Okay, that's a good one to write down. I want to see you painting night, says Recruit. You're giving me more projects of history. Ian's put go another hour. No, I've got to go to bed. Actually, I've got to post a photo. It's a tough game, this, being on social media. We did reach 9K, guys. We are 1,000. No, we're under 1,000 subbies now. I think we're like 980 away or 975 away from the 10K mark. You don't get a silver plaque for 10K though, so we've still got to go another 90,980 subbies. So I need you guys to help promote the channel. I need to get to 100K, and once we get to 100K, I can put the silver plaque on the wall. I might not even get one. If I ever reached 100K, I might not even get one because my channel was temporarily banned and I've seen people say they don't get one. So who knows? Will I ever make 100K? Probably not, but 10K, that was my goal for the year and we're fast approaching it. So yeah, I just thought we'll celebrate the 9K. I know I'm meant to be going, but there you go. Got an extra few minutes out of me to talk about the 9K. It's bloody awesome. Love it. I can't believe there might come a time in the not too distant future where I reach 10,000 people that are following the channel. Now, half of them are probably family and friends. But yeah, that is crazy to think back 2.5, 3 years ago. We're getting it. But yeah. I can see on it. Congrats on the subs. Okay, look at the Lance and Longbow Society. They do books playing the liveries and the heraldry of the Freezy Water publications. Okay, I'll check those out, John. Cheers. You might have to put them in Discord for me. That would be very helpful. Transport War Christian 10K. Congrats, mate. Well deserved, says Recruit Painting. You'll be in this position before you know it, mate. Honestly, it comes very quickly. Just keep doing what you're doing. I remember when I was on my first 100 subbies, and you look at channels like myself. I remember I used to look at a lot of channels thinking, oh man, I'd love to trade spots with them. But it will come. You keep doing, you've got a really good setup, and I've seen your work. It's fantastic. Yeah, Conflict 47 stuff is awesome as well. So get some of the nights on there and get that Conflict 47 stuff on there and you'll be laughing. You'll be at 1,000 before you know it. And Ryan's put show the plaque in Discord when you get it. Yeah, well, you might be waiting a little while, Ryan, because that's if I ever hit 100,000 subbies, which is a long, long way off. You'll probably have to be the channel for another 30 years before we reach that. But never say never, I suppose. All right, guys. Sorry again for rambling just now. Felt it was appropriate to mention it and celebrate. Don't forget, like I said, if you're not a member, I really would appreciate it joining the membership program. You can see some of my other videos and get in the Discord. We love the Discord. Some very good fun. I've got some food photos to put in there actually as well. But yeah, really appreciate it, guys. Everyone have a fantastic time. Oh, I've got to see this. Alice Poe, I remember one of the early videos on snowbasing. Oh, mate, I watch some of my old videos sometimes and I just cringe. My first video was paint stripping, and I remember my wife like really pushing me to do it. Start the channel. And I went to a tournament and the guy was like, oh yeah, I'd love to see a video on how you strip your models. So I was like, right, I'm going to make the video. And it's all gone from there. But yeah, crazy. And most of you guys have been with me from the start, which is amazing. And now you're joining me in the live streams as well. So I really appreciate it, guys. All right, have a good weekend, guys. Sorry, I'm rambling on, but it makes me very happy. I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Enjoy your weeks, and I can't wait to see what you're working on Wednesday. All right, guys. Take care. Bye. Now this is the embarrassing part where you have to wait a few seconds for it to